Well, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm your host, James Smith. Today's podcast is all about the big one, the Grand National, and the free trial races that we have. It's been a very sought after running of the Grand National, free trial races, quite a few, 12 runners in each race. I'm going to take you through the card of each one. So we start off with the first race, and the top horse, Go Running. He runs in all blue colours, and he's available at 66 to 1. He's a bit of an outsider. He could be running all day, so you would look elsewhere for a better chance. He likes to run from behind, and over this course and distance, it's a hard thing to do. Number 2 is Northern Scar. He runs in white sleeves, a blue body, a red sash, and a blue cap. He's won a former race over the course and distance, the Martini Trophy, which are races which no longer run. But because of that form, he's available here today at 10 to 1, and I would fancy him to run a decent race. He likes to race handy on the pace and should go well. Number 3 is Mon Dieu, ridden by Miss Tony Hunter. Now this horse is available at 6 to 1. He was placed in the very first running of the Grand National here on G1 Jockey, but since then he hasn't been able to do as well as that. He's a former shadow of his former self, so to say, but he'd give him a chance here today. Number 4, Penny the Tip. If he puts in his best effort, he could surprise everyone. He's a bold running horse. He likes to race handy away. He's available though at 16 to 1 because sometimes he puts in his best, sometimes he doesn't. And here we go, the favourite for this race, Saint Juvide. He is a former winner of the Grand National. He's a great jumper. He travels well through his races. He's a strong running horse. And he's going to take a lot of beating, not only in this trial race, but I think if he gets into the big race himself, he'll take a lot of beating there as well. Now we come on to one of the big outsiders of the field, number 6, Lufo. He's a bit of a poor jumper and he doesn't seem to enjoy the race, but the owners keep insisting on running him. He's available here at 100 to 1. Pure and simply because of his speed rating and his stamina rating. Otherwise there would be no real reason to run him. One day he might spring a surprise, but I don't think he'll be here today. Number 7 is Benfire. Now this horse, if he was running in a Topham trial, he'd be one of the favourites, but he's available here at 50 to 1 just because stamina is his issue. We don't know if he's going to get home, and this is going to be a very strong run race. There's a lot of hard running front runners in this race, but if he looks after himself, saves a bit of energy, it could very well go well. But like I said, he's available at 50 to 1. Number 8, Dr. Tong. He has plenty of speed, but he's got no stamina. And he is also in one of the Topham trials, and he is 4 to 1 for the Topham. And his colours are white with green stripes and a white cap. And 50 to 1 here. I don't think he'll qualify for this race, but I think he will get in the Topham. Number 9, Lagutana. This is an unknown commodity, this horse. He's never run in any of these races before. This will tell us what he wants in this kind of company. If he runs well in places, he's definitely a national horse, and if he runs well, but he's down the field well, he's a Topham horse. But he's here at 16 to 1 to take his chance. Number 10, Apple 3. Well, this little horse, he stays all day, but he's outclassed in this kind of field. He would have the stamina for the national, but it's whether he has the speed and the quality to get him into the race, and he's 25 to 1. Number 11 is Amada Blue, again a former Grand National winner, but he will want the ground to come up soft, but they're taking no chances with him. He's here at 5 to 1, but again he would need the ground to come soft, and it has been very, very dry the last 3 days, 3 beautiful spring mornings, and the ground is drying out, and I'm sure he will drift in the betting, but the bookie's not taking any chances. And finally in this field, number 12, Hennessy, who's a former winner of the Grand National as well. There's quite a few former winners in this race. They're trying to get back in and have another crack at it. And he's a big staying chaser who has place claims here, ridden by J. Smith. And he is available at 5 to 1. Well, what do we think, our analysts? We think that it'll be Saint Juvide in first, and I'd say Mon Dieu would be a close second, and we think Northern Scar for third, and Hennessy O for fourth place. That's what we think. Well, that brings us to the end of race 1. Race 2 is just as competitive an event as the first, and here we go. The field being led by number 1, Celtic Sling, who's been placed in 2 Grand Nationals. He's just one of them almost horses. He's available here at 10-1. Number 2 doesn't need any introductions. He's the first back-to-back winner of the race, and he's the only horse to have won the race multiple times on this platform of G1 Jockey Racing. His name is Zinger, ridden by J. Smith and owned by J. Smith, and he's available at 4-1 for this race. And if he gets into the big race, anything could happen, but I would fancy him a lot. Well, number 3 is Royal Angle. He runs in the same colours as Dr. Tong, the same owners. He was the first winner of the Grand National, and he's a strong front-running horse. He will be going out in front, blitzing it, and he won't be coming back. He's available at 4-1. Zagarius. He's an unknown horse, runs in the colours of Flagship Iberal, as you may remember him, the American colours. He's available here at 9-1. Number 5 is Sadhi. He's a previous Grand National winner as well, and again a front runner, and he's available at 4-1. Big player in this race. Number 6, Al Hadif, again a previous winner. Now he was a shock winner because he's actually a miler. He's the race is far too long for him, but he went out in front. They gave him too much rope, and he didn't come back. But I don't think the jockeys will be taking that chance again. But he's still 4-1 for the trial. Samarix, well, this horse is an in and out sort of horse. He's run well in trial races before, but then gets to the big race and doesn't do a tap. And he's available here at 60-1 because he's in a high class field. He's not fancied by many, and I would look elsewhere. Number 8 is Shampoo. Well, this horse is unknown to us, but he's very well fancied. Could be a strong running sort. He's a big looking sort of horse. He's running in his first Grand National trial. Hopefully he goes well. Number 9 is that rank outsider again, El Tab. You heard about him in the Topham. He's in the Topham Gold Cup Grand National, and he's difficult drop-out ride here. And as we've said before, it's hard to come from the back in these races. He's 100-1. Number 10 is Zengawar, the 3-time Topham winner, and the only regret the owner had was that he never entered him in the Grand National. Well, he's finally going to get his chance. He's running in the trial race. If he finishes in the first 4 here, he could very well get in the race. He's available at 14-1. And number 11 is Fosra Sham. She's a Class A mare here, but again outclassed. If it was the Topham, you would fancy her a lot, 25-1. And number 12 is Harbinger. He was a one-time national hope and fancy, and you'd have to give him a chance again. He's available at 10-1. And due to time restrictions on the podcast, I will have to do the third race on another recording. But quickly before we go, we asked the 2 jockeys who could be having their first rides here, Tony Hunter and Stephen Smith, what they thought about their mounts. And Tony said she's a confident young rider. She feels that her rides will go very well, and her plan is to let the race come to her, not attack the fences. And if Zengawar was to qualify, whom she rides in the second qualifier, she would hope to ride him in the race as he has good form. Stephen Smith thought it would be an exciting experience. He's got a strategy for riding around the course, which he doesn't want to reveal to anyone yet. He does feel the pressure, though, of being an unexperienced rider, but he's excited for it's his first Grand National ride. He says he hopes, though, he gets a nice break and he can sit one off the rail and let his horse jump into a rhythm. Well, it's an interesting race looking forward. Of course, we've got the last qualifying race to take a look at, but like I said, this is a very exciting event. We've got plenty of high-class horses in, and this isn't even the proper race yet. These are just the qualifiers. Once we get the final field, well, it'll be a race to savour. I've been your host, James Smith, and I bid you farewell. Till next time.